Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? I'm Enrique, and this is Easy Things to Draw. Hopefully having a really good day. I know I am. What's up? So today I want to go over an intro to watercolor, and I'm going to be going over just the tools today, really vaguely how to use them, but mostly about the tools, and then we'll go over like another video on how to maybe do a picture and stuff. But right now, what I want to show you was kind of like what I'm using. So watercolor, I think, is actually the best intro to painting out of any medium, in my opinion. There's a lot of reasons why I think that, but I mean, I'll tell you right off the bat what I use. In terms of painting, I use digital, I use acrylic, I use gouache the most probably, and then I use watercolor. And so digital is obviously, the no mess part of digital is the best part of it, but I think you need a frame of reference to use digital. I think it's almost invaluable to have regular painting experience when it comes to using digital and things of that sort. Gouache is kind of a medium between acrylic and watercolor in a way. It's kind of like it'll reactivate, but it feels a little bit more like acrylic, but it won't dry immediately the way acrylic does. Acrylic is more like you paint murals with it. You paint it on the wall, it'll dry immediately. It'll get rained on. I mean, it'll get sun beaten over time, but for the most part, it's permanent-ish, and it dries fast. I haven't used oil yet, though. Oil, I'm gonna learn that next month. Somebody's gonna teach me oil. I know oil really doesn't dry for like days, right? So that's different. You can keep moving it around, and it has a very rich look to it. Watercolor, though, is different. Obviously, in it being water-based, and the thing that I love about it so much. And by the way, I got this little kit over here from the local art store. What I'm gonna do is I love the fact that it's so contained. That's why I think it's so good. With gouache and all the other ones, you have to buy kind of a set of colors, and they're kind of in these little squishy things, and it just seems like could be a mess really quick if you don't know what you're doing. This one, I feel like even if you don't know what you're doing, you have the colors laid out right here, little palettes, and they come over here like this. They come in little chunks. These come in little cubes. I'm not going to take it out, but they basically come in little cubes there for you, already set up, so you don't feel like you're wasting color at any point. And then you have the palette over here. You put it on. And also, it even came with this tiny brush as well. Most of them do. This one is a local art, store brand, but what you can do is I put a link below to the Winsor Newton brand, which is almost exactly like it. That's another benefit I like too, by the way. A starter little thing like this is super, super cheap. I think this was the one I bought here from the store is $15. They can get really pricey though, but this is $15. The Winsor Newton one is the one I got a link below. I think it's like $11. I think even cheaper today, but I would really look into that, and it comes with a similar setup, almost the same thing. But yeah, anywho, I think there's a lot of benefit to that because you can use it so contained, and it's perfect. Also, in terms of I got to talk about the paper real fast. I bought this. Let me kind of open this up. I bought this sketchbook here for the reasons that it is more durable with watercolor. I even wrote watercolor on it to remind me because I have another one that I kind of just sketch in with this. And it has, I think this is the Kanzen. This one's also on Amazon. I think if you just scroll down the page, on when you order, the palette, that you'll see this exact sketchbook. And it's a little heavier duty. And the reason I wanted a sketchbook for this is a couple of reasons. I really wanted to crank out the paintings. I want, if you want to get good at something fast, especially if you're an intro, you have to do a lot of it, right? And I didn't want to get like all these cool, expensive boards, these painting boards, because I'm like, I don't know. I didn't want to go through stuff. I want like something like a sketchbook where I can mess up and just kind of go back and forth, etc. Experiment. These are just like my doodles. And I just wanted to be able to go quickly through it. The paper does buckle a little bit. It does kind of get wobbly, but it will stand up to it. You have to be careful. It's not as good as a board, I was gonna say, or heavier duty paper, but it is good. So just kind of be aware of that. Just kind of the paper is a big deal. You can't just use the kind of paper I use all the time, which is just printing paper on various items. So anyways, let's kind of go over a couple of quick, really... Oh, by the way, yeah, a couple of quick, things you have around you and when you start. I normally have a tiny bit of water. Sorry, this water's so nasty. It's dirty. It's, I dip it in here. Let's go over a couple of, quick things here. Let's see, can you see this whole setup? Yeah. So, put it in the water. And what I do is I pick my color here by rubbing it on top. And it's water soluble, right? It's going to dissolve in water. So the top layer right there is going to have a little bit of paint come off. And normally what I do is I dump that paint. Sorry, my palette's so dirty. I dump that paint over here and give it its own little panel. And I can decide how thick or thin I want that. If I want that like so, I can have it, relatively normal. I could dip it in water, dip my brush in water, give it some more kind of water added to it. So if it's water, and put it right next to that, it's going to be a little bit lighter. See how that's lighter than that. And a lot of this is kind of manipulating things while it's wet, because once it dries, it might dry a little bit. Let me wait a little bit till it dries so I can show you what's going on. You are kind of manipulating this stuff on the surface of it sometimes. A couple of ways to do is you can go wet on wet or wet on dry. I'm going wet on dry, meaning, and let's wait till while that dries. Meaning I can just put down a clear coat, of kind of more watery. Sorry, the water is so dirty, that's why. I throw some water down immediately. And then I go over that. With whatever color paint I want. Let's go into the orange here. And it kind of has this weird look to it where it starts to kind of mess around. It's a little bit dirtier because of the black. Excuse me for that. The black paint's kind of interacting with it. And the paper right here, for this paper, it really is buckling right there, but it's not curling up like the way a normal paper would definitely do. But you can do that and throw in some other, other colors. Sorry, they're touching so much though. That looks kind of dirty. Anywho, but you get what I'm saying, right? You could actually just go through, and that's how you create those backgrounds. And we're going to go over that in another video. So let's go back to this. This is kind of dried off-ish a little bit. See that hard edge right there? It's created a kind of a hard edge because it dried already. There's like a little line. It's really hard to see, but it's like a slightly darker line as the watercolor puddles a little bit. And what you can do is you can get just water. I'll try to get this water even though it's dirty. Just water right here. And try to touch that edge. And it'll slowly, hopefully, reactivate a little bit. Let me try on this edge because it's bigger. So, as you do that slowly a little bit, just try as much. It's just mostly water. Even though my water is dirty, it'd be better with clean water. It will kind of dissolve that edge a little bit because it reactivates with water. And you can slowly manipulate the kind of fuzziness of edges. And it really helps to manipulate that. And you have to know when to leave stuff and when to kind of fuzz it out. You know, and that's kind of an art in itself. One other thing, be really careful. You can't really just layer it on. You can, I know, to some extent. You can actually mix stuff, right? You can mix this in gouache, this in acrylic, you know, or this in, you know, really anything, colored pencil. I've seen that. So what I would do is be careful with the paper, and even if it was a board, eventually the paper is going to start, you know, kind of coming off, and it's going to have these little weird little seed-looking things, you know, like the crumbs of the paper are going to come off, and it's going to look gross. So I think having this kind of paper does kind of help you, where it's not board, you know, it's not board paper. It is good enough to kind of teach you when to stop, you know, what not to keep layering on the water and water and water, because it will kind of get weird at some point. Anyways, that's kind of it for just a quick little intro into watercolor. I'm going to do more of these. You know, if you have anything else you want to request, let me know. But yeah, hopefully you found that educational. And if you did, please press the like button and go buy that palette. You know, I think because today it's cheaper than any. Today's Cyber Monday, right? But anywho, the palettes are really cheap regardless. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you next time.